There we go. I almost started. I almost did it. We almost started without me turning the microphone back on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes of all teenagers, welcome back. We're back. Oh man, it's really good to be back. I know I was only gone for a day, but it's really nice. It's really nice to be back, and we are going to be finishing up the chicken heist on GTA. I debated this basically all of yesterday as to whether or not I wanted to jump just right back into Pokemon, or if I wanted to finish up the chicken heist, because I know we started the thing and I don't know whenever I'm going to get back to GTA stuff otherwise. And I'm like, you know what? Lots of people, they ask me, they say, when are you going to be playing more Grand Theft Auto? And I say, you know what, for you specifically, for you, my wonderful audience, I can do a little bit more Grand Theft Auto. I hope that was serviceable in any regard. My throat's been kind of torn up today. Don't read too much into that. No, but we're gonna be playing some more GTA. Let me go ahead and jump right on into it. You wanted me. Here I am. Hey Twib, thank you very much for the follow. I apologize, but I do not actually go ahead and hand out my Discord information to basically anybody that I don't know personally. I had a whole swath of different digital artists asking about this kind of stuff, and I kind of just don't do that. But thank you very much for the follow. That's very, very kind. That is very kind. All right, let's get into it. I went ahead and opened up the game ahead of time just because I didn't want it to take, like 2 minutes for the game and the stream to go ahead and load up to each other. If at any point during this stream there are issues on the stream side for any of the like if there's any bitrate issues or whatever, the entire VOD will be available without lag or bitrate issues or anything like that, either later tonight or very, very, very early tomorrow morning, by which I mean like before sunrise, depending on when the actual upload happens. So make sure to go ahead and watch my YouTube VOD channel, which is CN Games on YouTube, if you manage to miss any of the stream and you want to go back and enjoy the rest of it. All right, it's rare. It's very rare that we actually get a good start during the day for this game. Extremely rare. So let's actually see, what time in the day is it? Oh, that's why it's past noon. Happy Eclipse Day, I guess, to everybody who cares about that sort of thing. I don't know. I was working. I didn't have time to go ahead and stop for the eclipse. Because people understandably so get very upset when they see, why are you taking 10 minutes at Starbucks to deliver my order? What's going on there? It makes, like, I'm not upset about it. I really couldn't care less about the about the eclipse. It's a cool natural phenomenon. That's more or less all that it is to me. It's how it is. It's how it works. All right, let's head on over to Vincent. While I was rendering the previous stream, I really enjoyed watching through the parts with Vincent again. He's got to be one of my favorite recent-ish additions to the GTA as a story NPC. I know he technically exists because of the Diamond Casino heist. But it's really, I'm really enjoying the fact that they're actually using him again instead of just like one and done for each of their NPCs.
Hey, so I understand that your MO is up to you.
I love the way, I love his speech pattern as well.
Sure, the element of surprise is on your side. Introducing a little chaos into the cartel supply line is one of them. If you do, they'll assume your arrival on the train is just an unscheduled delivery. And if nothing else, the looks on their faces will be highly amusing.
All right, there we go. We got one more setup, and then we've got the finale, scene of the crime. And then, if we still have time for the stream, I'll do a little bit more maintenance for my businesses, stuff like that. Normal stuff that we do in all the other GTA streams. I just want to make sure I get this going. All right. Yeah, we're ready. We're good. We're real good. Not just good, we are doing great.
Time to hit up the Cluckn Bell outlet on Innocence Boulevard. I'll brief you on the way.
I was very fortunate today to be able to end work a little bit earlier. I got to come home and decompress a little bit before I started the stream. Really nice, really nice. Got to get a shower. It's starting to get a bit muggy out there. The temperature's not really bothering me, but I'm noticing that it's a little bit more humid, which is good. It's springtime. It's springtime. Technically, April showers. It should be raining more than anything else. And I guess it did the other day, and I just didn't. I guess I just didn't notice it. I mean, I do tend to stay indoors, but I guess I just didn't notice when it was raining the other day. Like either yesterday or late from Saturday into yesterday or whatever it happened to be. So it's nice. It's nice that we've got some rain. Springtime is supposed to be nice and sunny, but also it's the middle of spring. We probably should have more rain than we've been having recently. It'd be nice. It would be nice for sure. But it's definitely finally feeling like spring, starting to get a little bit muggy. Not unbearably so. Just a little bit.
And we can use the GPS to find the depot where they load up the drugs. That's where we're gonna hit them. I appreciate that hacking device you confiscated. Couldn't do this without it. It was only a matter of time till they realized they'd been hacked. Watch yourself. Damn, data's incomplete. If we hack additional vans, we can patch the information. If you see a uniform, take it. Might as well buy some time by playing the part. Plus, it's a rare chance to express your theatrical side.
There we go. Uniform on. I like that. I mean, it's very LA. We just strip in the middle of the street, put on some different clothes. You know how it is. Very LA. Ooh, wonderful. We're gonna get them right as they're crossing over. Perfect. Ooh, I should absolutely go ahead and deposit the 12K I have in my inventory. Didn't know I had 12K in my inventory. There we go. That's better. Much better. All right, well, let's get going. Ooh. Ah, yeah. So, if Noah, if you're watching this, my buddy Noah, if by any chance he catches either this part of the stream or this part of the VOD, I've been getting a ton of car stuff recommended in my YouTube feed ever since Saturday, jumping back into GTA. Just a ton of car stuff, and it's always like, here's weird hyper autistic detail about engines or whatever. Like, I enjoy it, clearly, obviously. Obviously I enjoy it. But it's interesting that it's starting to pop up again. Very interesting, because I don't actually use any Google devices. Although I guess that means that my phone is still listening to me anyway. Which, it's not a surprise. All right, this will be interesting.
Okay, keep things quiet and this will be easy. Means the factory won't be expecting us at all. All you gotta do is sabotage the trucks and grab a key card. If you wipe the CCTV, there'll be none the wiser. But listen, if you want to blow the trucks up, there's no way of keeping that on the down low. You'll be alerting the whole cartel that you're coming for them. But hey, maybe that's your style. Even in that getup, they'll still lose their cool if you're spotted wandering into the more sensitive parts of the building.
All right, this is not going to go over well regardless of what I do. I'm just going to have to ruin their day. Okay, how can I get these two trucks? If this goes bad, then it goes bad. Honestly, I want to do the mission. Doesn't need to be good. Seriously? You're just not gonna care? What about this guy? What if he sees me do it? He just not gonna care, maybe? It'd be funny. He should care. What?
You found a key card yet?
What? Why does that guy not care? That guy should care. I did it right in front of him. How could he just decide, nah, I'm good. I gotta find a key card in one of the lockers. Are they in there? Yeah, looks like they're probably in there. Although, no, those look like filing cabinets, not lockers. So, where are the lockers then? Are the lockers in here? Shouldn't be. Alright, that's fine. I can... I can certainly do that. I can certainly wipe all the data.
The key card could be in a locker or something similar. Can you find anything to break them open?
I see. Going the classic draw route, I guess. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love that. I love that. Thank you for not giving me any warning. Well, it was gonna happen anyway, wasn't it? Where's this guy? Love that ragdoll. You're right, bro did get blasted. Come on.
I just heard. They're on to you at the factory. Someone else must have talked.
Great. Superb. All right. What's that? Maybe got some money. I don't know. Wonderful.
More repercussions. Deal with anyone who saw you. Time to move. If the operation's on to you, we need to act.
That's fine. I'm gonna grab some money as well. All right. And one more. Ooh. Sorry, man. You didn't even have a chance. Very sorry about that one. That's how it goes sometimes, though, man. Come on. Give me something. You're giving me nothing. This... Wow. Wow. How did that have nothing in it? Alright. I'll make sure to put on some armor and eat some snacks before I before I leave, just in case. Come on, have some money. Any... Wow, nothing. Some money, please. Horrendous. I do hate that quite a lot. All right, let's get moving. I forgot I didn't have the light on. All right. It's gonna be a madhouse out there. I can already tell. It's gonna be horrendous.
This is it. You're on the cartel's radar now, so we gotta strike and strike hard. I'll be in touch, so be ready.
Oh wow. Wait, seriously? That was it? Okay. All right then. Oh, that was not it. I see. There we go. Come on. Ugh. Oh, jeez. Got more of these dudes. Of course. Come on! Alright, come on. There we go. There we go! Ah, okay. Team life is the part that bothers me. We did not get out of this unscathed. They didn't even warn us. Okay. Okay, well, we do have the heavy armor, the heavy transport, and the element of fear. We don't have the element of surprise, but we do have the element of fear. I think we'll be pretty solid. We're switching over to a crew session just because I don't want to don't want to have my stuff absolutely ruined on our way over to Vincent. Yeah, the synthwave was definitely the right way to go for a good GTA game. All right.
There's the boss.
G'day, book.
Yeah, I know. I know who you are. We all know. We all know. There we go. Oh man, did the Acolyte come out today?
Hey,
I got a notification about, oh man, the Acolyte's garbage. I completely forgot that the Acolyte was a show. That come out today? Ugh. That's not good. That is not good. Absolute dog water. Although, if you'd been paying attention to any of the press releases or any of the leaks or any of the early news from the producers of the show, or really anyone connected to actually making the show. I don't think anyone in their right mind would have had high hopes for this project. Like, regardless of your feelings about the people in the show. Fairly certain it just wouldn't have been appealing.
To inform you that we have officially completed all necessary preparations to move forward.
Perfect.
With the Cluckn Bell operation.
Yes.
At your earliest convenience.
Yes.
Let's make this happen.
Absolutely. Scene of the crime, ladies and gentlemen. Scene of the crime. So, as time has gone on, they've added more and more. Ooh, excuse me there. Hiccups. They've added more and more radio stations to the to the in-game radio. There's no reason to do so. There really isn't. There really isn't.
It sounds like they're expecting a robbery. I suggest you evidently fuck their shit up regardless. I'm sure it's hard not to focus on the guys trying to kill you, but remember we're here for the operation, not the people. Acquire the cocaine, clear the safe, get the hell out. Don't forget the extra gear your crew procured. Feel free to experiment. It should be in a dumpster to the rear of the factory. You see, it pays to befriend your local garbage man.
Alright, what do we got? We got the heavy rifle, the tactical SMG, and the heavy shotgun. Okay, not bad. Not bad. There we go. If this gear belonged to a militia, why didn't they install flashlights on their guns? Come on. Come on, think ahead, boys. Think ahead, boys. What if the government comes after you at nighttime? What are you gonna do then? Oh, hello. Nice. Come on, show yourself.
You motherfucker!
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck you, motherfuckers!
The key card you acquired should grant you access to restricted areas in the factory, including the basement.
Ooh, hello. Oh, you're back there. Hi.
I'm gonna kill everybody!
Good luck.
You motherfucker! Give me some cover, cabrones!
Oh, hello, Keys.
Aquí estoy! Hey, he's hit! Help him! Sucker! Pedro is hurt! Get pinche desmadre! Just go fucking down! Take ayuda! Got a man down! Amigos! Necesitamos ayuda! Hey, fucking puto! Go back inside your trailer! I will kill you, asshole! Let's fucking go! Get the fuck out of here, cabron!
Where the heck did you come from? My guy.
It's clear this place is barely functioning as a chicken factory. One would assume they'd have more Cluckn Bell staff to keep up appearances, but I underestimated just how bold criminals can be once they have the police in their pocket.
Hey, pendejo, cover me! Watch out! Man down! Man down! Fuck, motherfucker! You're gonna die now, fucker! I need cubierto! Hey, you fucking asshole! Now you're fucked, cabron. Fucking puto sinvergüenza! Fucking die, fucking puto!
Come on.
Shithead!
Give me something to work with here, boys.
Somebody's hit! Ayúdale! Hey, asshole! It's time to get shot!
Is it?
Motherfucker!
Is it time to get shot? Are you ready? Are you ready for your shots, guys?
Puto! Rogue amigos! Find some cover! Asshole! Fuck, we're dropping like flies, eh? Going now! Ahora! Hey, you fucking asshole!
Yeah.
Fucking animal. Cover me, puto! La gran puta! Find cover! Fucking idiot! Die! Hey, pendejo, you know where you're at? I need some covering fire. ¡A lo bravo! Easy. You're gonna die! Ah!
Alright, I guess I'll have to come back to the office later. I think. Probably.
Come on!
It feels good. Feels good to get a good shot. All right, let's get going. Here we are. Not gonna be fun. Not gonna be fun down here.
Where you from, mister? You got nowhere to
The
go
storage
now?
area should be where they keep their product. Take as much as you can.
I'll take it all, man. Take it all. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. Is this all pre or post cut? I guess I actually no. The better way to ask it is this cut or uncut. Nice. Come on. I'm waiting for more guys to show up. I am strapped, man. Absolutely strapped. Look at how little we've actually looted from here. This is amazing. Look at that. Look at that bar at the bottom right. Look at that. Still on our first team life as well. I should have got more snacks before I came and did this, but oh well. It's what it is. Okay, that's half the cocaine. Let's make sure we're ready to start blasting as soon as we leave. Huh. There we go. Glad I got the
Ay, puto! Go back inside your van and lock the doors. Aquí estoy!
Really? 2 dudes? Say less. Only 2 wow, 2 dudes. For this entire thing. Alright, come on. Where is it? Ah. In the pile of meat, we have a... we have we have a Minecraft block of cocaine. A cubic meter of cocaine.
Don't forget to vacate the contents of the safe too.
Yup, that's why we need to go back to the office. Alright, we can make it. We can make it back to the office, no problem. Come on, do something interesting. Come at me.
Keep it up. Just turn your sights towards the office. Just shoot the door handle and bust in there. Or find a key.
Where you gonna go?
You probably don't want to know. It's probably not that interesting as to where I'm going.
Connect to the computer to initialize the hack. I read up on how to use the hacking device so we didn't end up unexpectedly fucked once we made it to this point. All you have to do is find where the signal is the strongest. If the device is showing blue, you're headed in the right direction. Red, you're not. Once it's caught the connection, find the next one.
Come on, which of these lockers is it? Wait, seriously? Come on, man. How am I supposed to get this? How does this work? Ooh. I don't get this. Come on. Hmm. These are some funny signs. I'll give them that. And we got to be kidding here, right? How specific must I be? How specific could I get, even? Don't really think I could get... No, I can. I can get more specific. Come on. Alright then. Is it right up there? No? Come on. Nope. No. Seriously. How does this work? I need to be up on this thing. Because if I do, this game's simply not dexterous enough for me to do that. Thank God we don't have a time limit on this. I just have to do it. Oh, come on. Okay, seriously. Why won't the bar go up any higher than that? No. You gotta be kidding me, right? Ugh. Wait, seriously? I have to go out here? I wish they kind of told me that. That'd have been nice. So the 3 computers in this room have the data. Right, okay.
Okay, that should have done it. Have you received the safe code?
Sure, I guess. I guess I have. Whatever.
Check the hacking device for the code to the safe.
24,696. Okay, jeez.
Alright, we got what we came for.
Uh,
Alright, I'd say it's about time for you to get out of there. There's a healthy mix of cops and cartel ready to gun you down on your way out. So be ready.
but how?
They're mobilizing on the comms. Sounds like they're about to shut down any nearby roads. But as usual, we're one step ahead. Your getaway car is stored just beyond their reach.
Nowhere to go.
The fastest means of escape is still a getaway vehicle that you stashed in the garage.
That's how you know you did well. I was gonna say, don't tell me that guy despawned.
Let's fucking go! Go guns blazing. I'm ready. Carlos got hit.
There we go, that's one dude.
You got nowhere to go now.
You say that.
Inbred dickwad.
Yes. Yes. Come on. Come on, let's go.
Brought the right car for this situation. It'll take them all week to shoot through that thing.
Yeah. I hope you're right.
Okay, see that anybody chasing you is appropriately shaken, stirred, or otherwise dispatched. Whatever it takes to get you back to the lockup alone with the deliverables.
Come on, get moving. Four-star mission. Jeez. Come on, we can do it. I know we're not going to get full points because it's going to be like, ooh, well, you didn't complete it in 5 minutes, and so you're terrible. But as long as we can finish it without dying, I'll be happy. Come on. Come on. We keep moving. We keep moving. As long as we can stay out of the cops' way, we'll more or less be fine. Ah. They can try it. Means they have to catch up to me, but they can try it. Alright, come on. Right, okay, but how do we get the cops off our butts? Because they just seem to know where we are without knowing where we are. Without any context, they kind of... Ah! There's the cops. There they are.
The cartel and associated cops will process just how severely their operation's been sabotaged. No cocaine, no cash, and nobody to blame. A less evolved part of me can't help but smile at the thought of them losing their collective shit. On the home stretch now, my friend. Soon you'll
Oh, damn it.
the putrid scent of reconstituted meat slurry and finally enjoy the sweet smell of success.
Alright, just keep them off of us. Keep them off of us. Keep them guessing. That's all I ask. Keep them guessing for 10 seconds. Ooh. How about threading the needle for that one? There we go. We did it. All right. We just make it back to the lockup now, boys. We are so back. We are so back. Alright, come on. Ugh. Come on. It's a really good thing we went with the heavy armor and the heavy car.
I gotta admit,
Really good thing.
apart from this being a matter of principle, our whole operation has livened up my day-to-day considerably. Makes a pleasant change from people holding up 24/7 stores.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer Vincent's gonna survive in this
The illegal narcotics you've
this
so
line of work.
seized, I've made arrangements with the representative of a local businessman to take them off your hands and pay you well. See you shortly.
Whew. Okay. Okay.
Excellent work. Mission accomplished. Now to the vital matter of payment. As I'm sure you can appreciate, there are certain transactions I can't be party to as an officer of the law. But if I've learned anything from my consociates on the LSPD, it's how to look the other way. Now remember, as far as I'm concerned, you can hit that factory as often as you'd like. As long as you're giving me reasons to keep looking the other way, I'm happy. As you can see from my choice of transportation, my fortunes at the LSPD are also improving.
Good.
Just got these babies in, fresh off the line. Guess who picked one up? Until next time, let's disassociate.
Good for Vincent, you know? Good for Vincent. 500K. That's not bad. That's why you go ahead and pick up all the loot from everybody. 500K, man. Wow. Okay, you know what? That's... I'm trying to think. The amount of setup that it takes versus the amount of money that you pull in. There's not really a time limit on how many times you can do that a day. And... it's it's very feasible to do as one person. So this might be the new grind for, certainly might be the new grind for getting rich very quick. Also, we unlocked the trade prices for a few vehicles. I gotta love those posters out front of the theater. Sorry. Oh man, really lost my train of thought there and caught it on camera. Oh man. Ouch. Ouch. What wouldn't be the first time. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. We also got an extra 250K, I guess. Let's see. So really what we did was we just made 750,000. I don't know where the 250 comes from. I don't know where the 250 comes from. Not from our businesses, that's for sure. I have to go and visit the businesses for those. Speaking of which, let's go and take care of some maintenance. We've got a couple more hours for the stream. I could clock off early, but I feel like that'd be a bit lazy. It'd be a bit lazy. We did achieve the goal for today's stream, which was finishing up the Cluckn raid, which I have affectionately named the Chicken Heist.
Hello? I wanted to confirm that your compensation is in your account. And of course, to congratulate you again on a successful operation. Our efforts to derail the Cluckn cartel's efforts were indeed effective, but it won't be long before they and their corrupt counterparts in the LSPD rebuild their little enterprise. Each and every time we knock them back down, I'll ensure it's worth your while. Effenberger out.
Alright, well, let's check that little blue dot that I just saw down here. Ooh, exotic exports vehicle. Yes, please. Yes, please. Love these. I don't get enough of these, man. I can't get enough of these. And that's a nice one, too. That is... It's not a Zentorno. It's actually one of my favorites to drive. I'm forgetting what it's called. It's a... which Pegasi is this? It's the Pegasi Tempesta. Yes! It's the Tempesta. They must have added this to the list of exotic exports. I've not seen one of these in a bit. Or I guess I've not seen one of these ever as an export vehicle. I love driving my Tempesta. I probably should bring it out more if the oppressor just wasn't so good at getting me from place to place. I would bring the Tempesta out more. I certainly would. Although I do wish more vehicles allowed me to put my crew tag on the hood of the car instead of the doors. Just because, you know, I'm proud of the time it took for me to make the my crew tag. Yes, it's the bat symbol, but still, you only got shapes. You only got shapes and some pre-gen logos, and I chose shapes. Not only did I choose shapes, I had to choose shapes twice. I had to double up on the shapes I was doing, that I could get the yellow border around the logo. It was not easy. Not easy. It wasn't terribly hard, but it wasn't easy. And it was a significant chunk of time that I had to spend. That's a nice shade of red, man. I gotta figure out what shade of red this is. Put it on more vehicles. Not hot rod red, that's for sure. Is it, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out once we go ahead and pick up a vehicle with it. But first, I want to see, do I now have the trade price? I do! I've got the trade price for the Gauntlet Interceptor. Only 4 mil. I could certainly afford it, but A, do I have a garage I want to store this in that I'll remember? And B, do I want to spend $4 million? I think my answer to both of those is no for right now. Just for now. You know, they used to have a different vehicle up here on the Legendary Motorsport website. I forget which one it is, but now it's the Tempesta. It used to be something else. It was... Where was it? I'm sure I can find it. Where was it? I think it was also in red. I think. I'm fairly certain it was also... Yeah. It was the Reaper. It was the Reaper. They don't have the Reaper up there now. They've got the Tempesta. It's a different, different bumper and well, more than just a different bumper, but the bumper is the big giveaway. Ooh, yeah, let's go check out the gun van. And then we'll start our dailies. Or at least our maintenance. We'll start our maintenance. Ah, hello. Nice to see you, bud.
You know the deal.
Yes, I do.
That's new stock.
Anything great? No.
Deal. Awesome. Thanks. You here again?
gang wars on the way, let me know. I'll stock up.
I don't know why I can't carry more armor. I'll have to go and check some kind of forum later for that. All right, now that we got that handled, we'll head on up to the, ooh, actually, I see that. Hi, hello, Stash House. You've got to have something useful for me. Got to have something. Hopefully for my arms manufacturing. And once we've gotten that, we'll fly down to the arcade. All right. Hope everyone's days have been doing well. As I was notified several times over the last several days, apparently in Helldivers, the automatons are now no more. Nice to see. Nice to see. Good for them. Good for them. I'll definitely eventually get back to that game. I just need to... I need to not take it so seriously. And besides the GTA thing, I'm kind of on a kick for some Pokemon. And Pokemon-style games. We'll see. We'll see. It's definitely still on the table. It's a very well-made game. Very well-made game. There we go. I certainly prefer that gun. All right, come on. All right, where's the sticky? There's the sticky. 281197. 281197. All right. Nice. Let's get out of here. Let's head over to the arcade. Check out some nightclub missions. Nice. Weapon supplies, yes. It would be weapon supplies. Although it'll be nice when that gets back to just giving me money as soon as we're full up on weapon supplies again. That would be nice. All right, looks like my nightclub techs need to be reassigned. All right, let's get going. 84 out of 80 organic produce. I don't know how I have more than max produce or cargo and shipments or sporting goods. I don't know how that works. All right. Let's see. I mean, if I could sell all of it at the same time. I could clearly make quite a bit. Quite a bit. But we're good. We're good. It would take forever for us to get that again, wouldn't it? Alright then. Whatever. Whatever. Let's go to the management stuff, yes. Okay, our daily income is still maxed, but, you know, I'd like to make sure.
You know what's important to a certain kind of high...
I see. Photographs again. Alright, well, that's an easy one at the very least. Pictures are easy to take and easier to lose. For a short bit yesterday, I did consider not working today and then just waiting for a really good shot at the eclipse, but then I thought, do I actually care enough about the eclipse? Not really. Not really. Not really. I'm sure a few of my former classmates were out there for getting their shots in to go ahead and display in one of their classes. I'm sure. And good for them. The eclipse just is not that important to me. All right. Ooh, it's on the other side of the room? Okay. That's not hard to get to. Look at that. Super simple. Super simple trick. Nice.
Red alert! Johan has this little creep making a deal for the original pics right fucking now.
Okay. He wants the explosion? Let's give him the explosion. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. We could have solved this easy. There we go. They won't find us up here. Or rather, if they do find us up here, there's not a good reason for them to find us up here. Not like my car's visible from the street. Well, my bike, my hover bike, still not currently visible from the street, so... There we go. Nice. Get it all into the garage. Let's go. Ugh.
Good work. These photos can go into my closet with all the other fucking skeletons.
I mean, he's got to use the closet for something, right? Got to use the closet for something now that he's not in it. He's got to do something with all that extra space. I mean, come on. If there's anyone who knows about the proper use of space, it's gonna be him. Nice. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. All right. Wonderful. Maxed out popularity. We've got 200 in the wall safe. Almost 250. By the end of the night, it'll be 250. And we got the extra 10 on top of the 750 we made from the Cluckn Bell stuff, from the chicken heist, which I believe a good chunk of that, at least 250k, at least 250 was from all the extra gear that we picked up and got sold off. That'll be nice. That'll be real nice. Okay, now that we got that, let's. You know, I haven't checked on it in a while, and I don't really like checking on it, but we'll check out the salvage yard. We'll check out the salvage yard, you know. I have to at some point. I have to do it at some point. And I know we've got some vehicles over at the auto shop, but I want to check out the salvage yard first, because I despise the salvage yard. I despise everything about the salvage yard. Ooh, actually, real quick. Gonna make sure... No, I'm not missing any... Okay. I'm not missing any important messages. That's good. That's good. Alright, well, it was nice to be able to start earlier today. The official start time is still 4:30, but, you know... sometime between 4 and 4:30 is when the stream is supposed to start now. Instead of 3. Simply because of work stuff. All right.
Hey, see you around.
Let's see. Do we have any good vehicles to plan out this week? Anything useful? Anything I would actually... We've had better. We've had better. We've had significantly better. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? That's nothing. It's garbage.
What's up?
Absolute garbage. We'll just stick with the salvage. At least it's consistent. At least it's consistent. All right. Ooh, I did get a message here. What is the message? There we go. All right. Always nice to hear from Dad. Always nice to hear from him. All right. We're grabbing a Karen Futo. Or a Karin Futo. I could go a little deeper on the accent. Maybe I shouldn't right now. Maybe I shouldn't. It's not out of any ill will. I took the equivalent of 2 years of Japanese classes in the span of 1 year, which was not fun, but, you know, I certainly got the accent down right. That's for sure. I got a couple of variations on the accent down right. Had a very interesting instructor for my Japanese courses. He he might as well have been thousands and thousands of years old. He did not understand the concept of cheating on homework, and so all of my classmates, well, okay, I won't say all of them. A substantial number of my classmates, whenever we had a test come up, was like, "Oh, this isn't a cheating. This isn't a thing that we're using to cheat. No, this is part of the workload." And he would just kind of believe you. He would use Yahoo as his search engine, and he would just search up the video that we were going to be watching for our lesson for the day. He's a precious old man. He really is. I hope he's doing well. I really do. But man, was he too old to be teaching that course. I mean, I get it. It's hard to, for a lot of the foreign language courses, especially at a community college like I was at in high school, a lot of these courses, it's really tough to find good instructors for. And this was the year before they added Chinese as an option. And I would have taken Chinese. I absolutely would have taken Chinese. I'm kind of glad I didn't now, because apparently doing business in China is kind of just hell for anyone from the West. Because we have certain... I mean, like, our expectations for deliverables and for how business is done are completely different expectations. Entirely different expectations. So you're kind of saving yourself there when it comes to doing business with China. But I definitely would have taken Mandarin if it had been offered the year that I took my languages. Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun taking Japanese. Like, the actually taking the class was not fun. The instructor was nice, and I got a lot of my other homework done in that class. But actually taking the class was a slog. I basically had to stay after school 2 extra hours to take the class. And I started about an hour before school ended. So I had 3 hours, or just about 3 hours of time where I was sitting in this classroom, watching videos instead of learning from my instructor himself. Watching videos about how to learn Japanese, and then, practicing pronouncing the Japanese alphabet, or, well, alphabets plural. Or learning the different forms of writing, all that kind of stuff. But it was a boring 3 hours every day for a whole year. Well, a whole school year, so 9.5 months. It was extremely boring. Extremely boring. But I only had to do it my freshman year. I had a lot of classmates who put off languages until sophomore or junior year, and I'm glad I didn't do that. That's one thing I certainly would not have survived. Absolutely no survival at that point. None whatsoever. All right, good. One of the 2 vehicles for our salvage service is recovered. We've taken several Karen Futos, I believe. Several at this point. It'd be funny if we got a second one. Okay. For a second there, we're getting the voodoo. We've got a couple. We've picked up a couple voodoos as well. Is the voodoo the? I'm trying to remember. It's not the classic muscle car look for sure. For sure, it's definitely not the classic late 60s, mid 70s muscle car look. I'm trying to remember what exactly it looks like. Is it more of a lowrider design? I don't think it's more of a lowrider design. The image isn't really sticking out in my mind right now. Like the Karen Fudo has a very specific look to it. So does the D-Class. Let's see, what was I gonna go for? The D-Class. Oh man, I'm blanking on the name. Oh no, I shouldn't be blanking on the name of this. It's the first car I had in this game. It's the first car I actually... Well, I didn't earn it. I took it. But it was the first car I had in this game, and I ran with it for quite a while. Why am I forgetting its name? It'll come to me. It'll come to me eventually, or I'll see it on the road and be like, oh, that one. That one that we just passed. Something like that. You know, something like that. Something silly. Something silly. All right. Ah, yes. Okay. One of the more boring designs. That's why it doesn't stand out to me. One of the more boring designs. Yes, it's kind of a hybrid between... I mean, well, what it is it's a late 50s, early 60s car. That's what it is. They're all hybrid vehicles because they, at least they're all hybridized designs because they cannot legally be like, oh yes, look at this, we reproduced, we reproduced this trademarked vehicle. They can't do that, or at least they couldn't for a while. I would not be surprised if GTA 6 has a significantly larger number of sponsored vehicles or like actual real world vehicles, for the simple fact that the image of games like GTA is very different from what it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, even in 2013. When people were still throwing around the myth of violent video games equals more violent children. Which so many people were so upset when that study came out and basically said, you're kind of wrong, though. So many people were upset. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I remember trying to explain that study to certain family members of mine, being like, okay, so here's how it actually goes down. Here's the actual science behind it. And there's no bias put into this. In fact, the bias was they were hoping that there was a correlation or a causation of any sort. But no. No. It's a very nice study. Very, very nice study to see. I actually had to use that study a couple times for some writing assignments for one of my English courses in what was this, junior year of college, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely my third year. My second year, no one was on campus. No one was on campus because we were like half a year into COVID at that point, so no one was on campus yet. Well, people were on campus, but only the people who were given special exception to be on there.
You should call me from time to time.
No, I'm good, Martin. I'm good, Martin. Oh, there we go. All right, so we got the nightclub taken care of. We got our salvage yard taken care of. Yeah, we're gonna go check on our arms business, our weapon manufacturing business, our very legal arms trade. The military-industrial complex in action, ladies and gentlemen. Except this time you benefit from it directly. Although, speaking of the military-industrial complex, I've seen some interesting videos and read some interesting articles on some new supersonic technology that's out there for planes and stuff. Basically, there's this design that's being currently put through its paces. There's this design where the upper part of the the upper part of the plane is going to have like a certain design and certain protrusions to allow for the sonic boom to take place above the plane, but below the plane, according to the tests that have been done, below the plane, crossing through the sound barrier won't sound like anything except for closing a car door down the street. Which, if that's possible, first, that would be awesome. Second, more importantly, that would mean that supersonic travel would be... we're like one step closer towards supersonic travel becoming a feasible option for the everyday traveler. Of course, you still have to deal with the problem of injecting social politics and socio-political hiring practices into your how you hire pilots and stuff like that, which is a terrible idea. You should not determine your hiring practices for anything based off of social politics, especially pilots.
Holy shit!
There we go. Grabbed a bit of evidence. Now let's get out of here. Let's get moving. Come on. There we go. Ooh, they got a helicopter. Look at that. Looks like the police got themselves an RV. Name that movie quote. Name that line, please. Please, someone has to get that one. That's a very good line. Someone has to get that one. It's one of the most quoted lines for my family. Looks like the police got themselves an RV. And its follow-up. And the quarterback is toast. Come on. Come on, somebody. Don't look it up. That's cheating. Don't look it up. That's cheating. Someone has to know. Someone has to know. If you're watching on the VOD, first and foremost, I'll know if you search this up. Because I've installed spyware on your computers by watching this VOD. Second, a comment, please. Comment, please, and let me know if you know where the quote's from. But don't cheat, because I know where I know if you cheated. I'm in your house. I'm in your walls. I'm in your vents. That vent next to the ceiling on the wall across from your bed. I'm looking through it right now. So, don't cheat, because I'll know, and I'll visit you. I'll visit your house in the middle of the night if you've cheated. And I'll crawl out of the vent and I'll wake you up and be like, "Hey man, why'd you cheat? What's up with that?" And come on, man. I specifically asked you not to cheat. It's like oh man, it's like that Oni Plays bit. I've been deep into the Oni Plays compilations recently. It's like that one Oni Plays bit. It's where Zach goes, "I don't know who you are, or what you're up to, but you need to be nice to me right now." I do love that bit. I would never have expected that Zach looks the way he does at all. I wouldn't. Largely because I always associate Zach's voice with a friend of mine who sounds almost exactly like him. And so when I thought Zach, and so whenever I think Zach, I think of this friend. And when I saw Zach, I'm like, wait, excuse me? What? Why do you look like Chris Stuckman? Why do you look like Chris Stuckman and not like my friend? Why don't you look like my friend? Why do you look like the coward Chris Stuckman? And no one wants to look like Chris Stuckman. Not a single person on planet Earth wants to look like Chris Stuckman, except for Chris Stuckman. I'm not saying he's, I'm not saying he isn't a handsome man. He's fine. Whatever. Not a problem. He's just not... It's kind of bland, you know? It's not at all what I would have expected someone with such an interesting and unique voice to look like. It just looked like a generic Chris Stuckman. I don't know. All right. Come on. Ah, yes. It's this mission. I love this mission. This is actually a very fun mission. All right, here we are. There we go. There we go. Alright, I'm waiting for those helicopters to show up, man. The heli-chopters. There it is. Perfect. There's one. Come on, don't let me fall. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone scream, "You're dead" in this game. Ah, hello. Wonderful. I know there will only be one of us. It will be me. Obviously. Can't you tell? Oh, really? I can't shoot through that? I should be able to shoot through that, no problem. I bet I could fall through it, though, right? Come on. There we are. 3 more. 3 more things. I know one of them is out front. Nice. All right, 2 more things. And the final thing. Good thing we got a bunch of missiles. Lots and lots of missiles to go. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. My dad just sent me a set photo from Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It looks so much fun, man. It looks so much fun. I really hope it's good, because Argyle was not good. Argyle was in fact garbage, and so I'm really hoping that this movie redeems the Guy Ritchie x Henry Cavill crossover. I really hope so. Argyle really should have been a good movie. It's not as bad as it could have been, absolutely. It could have been a lot more heavy-handed in like how poorly written it was, and how like injected it was with certain messaging. It could have been a lot worse, and there was certainly misleading marketing, that's for sure. Certainly misleading marketing around it. But it could, it was still just an objectively bad movie. I'm really hoping that I want to say League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because I think League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Henry Cavill would be hilarious, and hopefully very good. But Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. There we go. What we need is a cinematic universe of movies about guys fighting with unnecessarily long titles. You know? That's the kind of universe we need. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen needs to be in the same universe as the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, or anything with unnecessarily verbose titles that mean dudes messing things up. That needs to be a movie universe, and it can be called the verbose guys messing things up universe. It's a mouthful, but I think it could sell. I think it could sell. You know, I think it could sell pretty well. And a Guy Ritchie League of Extraordinary Gentlemen would probably be pretty interesting. Watch, I'm saying all this, and it turns out the original LXG movie was a Guy Ritchie movie. That would be sad. It'd be very sad. Funny, but very sad. Get moving. Move it or lose it, ladies and gentlemen. And by it, I mean your life. Sweet. There we go. Nice to see. Nice to see. We love to see it. The big fans, huge fans. We love to see it. I would do the voice right now if my throat wasn't kind of sore. Ooh, that's right. We've got more things to sell. Yes. We've got excess weapons to sell. Wonderful. Did I just level up, maybe? Is that a thing I saw? I don't know.
All right, I've confirmed with the store. As soon as you drop the mark.
All right, 1.5 this way. Interesting. This will be one of the ones on the highway, I think. Yeah, this will be the one on the, oh. For sure, this is a highway one. For sure. Actually, no. This is the one. This is the one in the tiny dusty town. That's what it is. Oh. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm really hoping some of those pop the tires. Just a couple. That'd be nice. I mean, it's called a dune loader, right? It's kind of built for this terrain. More or less. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. We're never going to get that lucky again. Ugh. Super lucky. We got 100 grand for that. I love when the music actually tracks. We got 10 extra? What's the 10 extra for? I don't know, but we're making lots of money today. Lots of money. Oh, we're totally... By the end of the night, we're definitely making it to 845 mil. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you see, if there was a property I could pick up, if there was some new property, if there was something interesting that wasn't a car to go along with the Cluckn Bell raid, I'd pick it up. Or at least if it was a car that was less expensive that looked good, I definitely would. The cop cars look really cool, but however, you know, little rich for my blood. Not that I couldn't afford it, but I don't really want to spend $4 million on a cop car. I don't know, kind of just the thing, you know? Don't really want to spend that much. Don't really want to spend that much. You know what movie I was thinking about earlier today? I don't know why this movie popped in my head, but I was thinking about it. Does anyone here remember the movie Bad Words, starring starring Michael Bluth? But seriously, does anyone here remember the movie Bad Words? I saw it once, a very long time ago with my parents. Probably earlier than I should have. But I don't remember much about the story other than the fact that the main character is in the International Spelling Bee because of a couple loopholes, and also he's only doing it to like spite his dad or something. I don't know. I don't remember enough of that movie. I really don't remember enough of that movie. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh man, was that like a bad movie that I watched? Was that a bad movie that I watched and my family liked because it had an actor that we liked in it? Is that what happened? Was that what happened in that movie? And I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but I don't want to, like, if I can avoid wasting like 2 hours of my time, I'd like to. You know, if I could be sure that it was a good movie, before I went back and watched it. And there's only so much that reviews from other people can tell you. There's only so much, unless they're hyper detailed, like, you know, 6-hour reviews on something, which absolutely have their place, 100%. Anyone who's like, oh, well, you know, if the review takes longer to watch than the movie, then why watch the review? It must be a bad review. You're wrong. You're just objectively wrong. Because what if it takes, you know, what if it takes 6 or 12 hours to go ahead and explain in detail why something is bad? Just saying something is bad is not going to be good enough. And if you have that kind of issue, you're clearly not looking at, you clearly don't actually want to know why it's bad. You know? You just want the simple answer of yes or no, should I or should I not watch it? And then if the answer does not really align with the answer if the answer's not the answer you wanted, then you're just not going to pay attention to it anyway. So either, what I'm trying to say is, a good review could tell me everything I need to know about the movie before I watch it, even if it does spoil the movie for me. However, I don't know if I care enough about them, if I care enough about Bad Words as a movie to watch a review on it, or to even rewatch the movie. It's just something I was thinking about. I was like, I don't know why that popped into my head. But I don't remember enough of it to tell you if it was good or not. All right, skirts and exhaust. The carbon big tip exhaust, ladies. And the carbon street skirt. All right. For the wheels, why would you put muscle car? Why? Why would you do this? What is the point? Can it at least look good? Can I be sure that it would look good? I can't really be sure that it would look good until I see it. That's not a great spelling of Azrael. Ugh, not a great spelling at all. Oh, there they are. Black top. Let's see, how do they look? They look, I guess. They look. One of the wheel designs of all time. Certainly one of the wheel designs of all time. I've probably told this story before. I had a Mini Cooper Clubman as my first car. I got my license later than I should have. I was way too busy with school stuff to put enough effort into getting my license at the right time. But the first car I had was a 2008 Mini Cooper Clubman. And if you know things about cars, you probably know where this story is going if you haven't heard it already. But I really enjoyed driving that car. That car was a lot of fun for me to drive. It was zippy, very sporty, and you know what? The size difference between me and the car was kind of funny. It was very comedic for people to watch me exit the car, even though it had plenty of legroom on the inside. It had 4, maybe 5 seats, but it was clearly designed for 2. You know, not really a big problem there, but that's how it was. And I took good care of that thing. The person who sold us the car absolutely pulled one over on us. For sure. Now, that's partially that's because I was a bit impatient when it came to actually choosing a car, because I just wanted something I could drive. I didn't really care what the car was, but totally pulled one over on us. The car consumed oil like nothing I've ever driven. Like nothing else I've ever driven. Basically, like almost like a clock. Almost like clockwork. Every 2, maybe 3 weeks, I had to go ahead and put more oil into the car, on top of the gas I was paying for and all that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, on top of the gas. Yeah, there was lots of oil that needed to be put into the car, and of course it's like, well, Am I going to complain about this? Because it's my first car. My first car shouldn't be this immaculate piece of machinery. But, you know, maybe a little bit less expensive to manage than having to put a new quart of oil, maybe 2 quarts of oil into the car every 2 weeks. It's not it should not consume that much oil that quickly. It really shouldn't. Turns out, while I was gone away at university, and my dad took it because well, you know, it makes sense. I was halfway across the country. I would have to either drive it out, which my family would not have been comfortable with me doing. In fact, they were very not comfortable with me doing. We had several conversations about this. Or I was going to leave the car there, and my dad had a little Nissan electric car that he drove around otherwise. And so, you know, he went ahead and handled that car, which I didn't have a problem with. He took it around all the time when I wasn't using it anyway. But the car breaks down, and then I'm basically left without without a car at that point for a couple years or so. Yeah. Yes. No, about a year. It's about a year before I get a car. Before I get another car, and within that year, obviously COVID has happened, and my family and I actually move to the college town that I'm now at, out of California, because anywhere is better than California, and they had visited and really enjoyed the place that I'm currently at several times, and they're like, you know what, we'd love to move here, all that kind of stuff. Point is, I was without a car for a couple years, and what broke down on the thing was that apparently there was a mandatory recall of this specific model, this specific year, because the engine consumed way too much. The engine consumed way too much oil, and as it did that, it just the engine continued to degrade anyway, to a point where eventually it would just stop turning. It would just stop turning over. Or well, I guess that's the transmission. You know what I mean? It would just kind of break eventually. I'm not the biggest car guy out there, so I don't know all the intricate terminology, even though I've watched almost every episode of Top Gear that's out there. Still, point is, that specific make, model, and year was recalled explicitly for the issue that I was having, and I never knew. But I had to suffer because of it. I was left without a vehicle for a couple years, which is like, come on, man. Come on. Why? Why'd that have to happen? Because now that, you know, it is extremely fortunate. It is extremely fortunate that I lived right next to campus. I was not in campus housing at that point, but it is extremely fortunate that I lived right next to campus, because otherwise I would have had basically no way to get back and forth from campus reliably and get to the couple of classes that I did have in person, because most classes were very upset about, you know, oh, are we actually gonna be in person? This was not one of the states that had to deal with basically any real spikes in this stuff, so they probably shouldn't have been worried in the first place, let alone all of the other social complications with that kind of with how we handled basically 3 years of our lives. 2.5, because California wasn't done until about the end of midway through 2022. Point is, I was left without a car for a while, but that car taught me several really good lessons. That car really made me appreciate actually not only what it takes to maintain a car, but it really helped me to appreciate negotiating and triple checking your sources for car stuff before you actually go for a deal. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was a fun car, you know. Sure, I had to put oil in it, but it was very fun to drive. Very, very fun to drive. All right, let's see. We got fenders. We got the carbon body arches. for the... Ooh, there is a front bumper. We got the carbon extender, ladies. And for skirts, we got the Mark II secondary ram bar. There we go. Now for the wheels, what are we going to get? We're going to get something that matches, maybe some muscle stuff. Maybe some standard stuff, maybe some muscle stuff, maybe something that matches, or are we going to get something stupid? Lowrider, ugh. It could be worse, but we'll have to see. I don't like the color, but I can't change the color because then the then the people will get mad. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. We're making money off of the vehicles anyway. It's not my car. I don't have to worry about what it looks like. As long as I'm fulfilling their order, I don't have to care. As long as I get it there in one piece, they're not going to get mad at me. But where is it actually going? I'm going to be making 60 grand off of this car total. There's the 35 that we paid for parts with it they'll pay us, and the bonus of 25 if we get it there in one piece, and all that kind of stuff. So where are we going that someone is spending 60 grand on a pretty nice muscle car? Where is this being dropped off to? Knowing how this game paths things, I would not be surprised if it's just a really shoddy low rent apartment building that I'm bringing this to, and I have to ask the question, why would you spend 60 grand on modifying your car when really you could actually just, I don't know, move into a better better part of town or whatever. Let's see, where are we going? Down here at the docks? Okay. That's an option. That's an option. What do we got? I guess that's housing down here at the docks? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You don't really look like someone who would purchase a muscle car, let alone like a modern one. Doesn't really look the type, but okay, whatever. I got my 60 grand. You know, I got my 60 grand. That's I guess that's all I really need to know. All right, we've got about an hour left for the day for our stream. I've been doing a lot more talking than I thought I would, which is a good thing. I should leave as little dead air in these VODs as possible, especially because I don't have, someone to bounce off of, someone to keep the audience entertained with, all that kind of stuff. Just doing this on my own. I've considered doing like a podcast or something like that, but there's a few complications in that. First, I have to decide, is it going to be a solo podcast or is it going to be a group podcasts, whether it's a pair of people, 3 people, however many people, 2 or more people. They tend to be a little bit more engaging because you're getting multiple voices to listen to. You're getting multiple perspectives on whatever the topic happens to be. You're getting, you're getting some conversation going there, and a lot of people like to listen to a conversation when they listen to a podcast. It certainly helps. It certainly helps to listen to a conversation, not just someone regurgitating information. At which point, you could be listening to something else. You could be listening to, a lecture, a video essay, a documentary, stuff like that. But a podcast, most people expect a conversation. So they expect at least 2 people, unless you're like a hyper-specific public personality, someone like a Mike Rowe. Hyper-specific personalities, sure, you could just listen to them. And I'm sure I could develop my voice to become something like that, but that's not the problem here. The point is if I were to do a podcast, the most efficient, like the most appealing thing I could do for a podcast for an audience would be to have a second person to record the podcast with, to have a second voice, a co-host. That's the term. Why did that take me so long to figure out? The co-host. A co-host or co-hosts are always more appealing. Well, they are statistically more appealing for people to listen to than individuals. Because if you're listening to a one-person podcast, you might as well be listening to a lecture, video essay, stuff. I'm repeating myself at this point. But the difficulty with a multi-person podcast, a podcast with more than one host, is scheduling. Well, there's several things: scheduling, workload, and consistency. Several problems there. From a scheduling aspect, you guys both have to be available at the same times every time you're recording, or relatively within a reasonable amount of time for the product to still be put out. Well, not the podcast. There we go. The podcast to still be put out on a regular schedule. Second, that comes down to this is very closely linked to the first part. The scheduling needs to be consistent. You can't have someone that's like, oh man, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not available this week because X, Y, or Z thing. Well, why not? You said you'd be available. You have the same concern. You have the same concern whenever you're doing anything that requires a consistent schedule for groups. I had a lot of this when I was running D&D games, which I'd love to run again. I just my old group just doesn't have the time for it, so I'd need to find some new people to run it for. But you find a lot of this basically all over tabletop games as a whole. Anytime that you have to go ahead and host a table, if you're DMing like I am, anytime that you have to put together a schedule, you have to make sure that everybody understands. Treat this as an extremely important thing. Treat this as an extremely consistent, important thing in your day. Otherwise, we're going to have to drop you, is what it came down to. Treat scheduling for this like a job, because otherwise you're simply not going to give it the time it needs. All right, let's take our visitor bonus. I'm glad we got the total 26K. That's nice. The vehicle didn't look really good this week anyway. That's not a problem for me. And then the third is workload. I have made sure that I am extremely proficient in the skills that I need to produce things like a podcast, like a YouTube video, whatever it happens to be, because it matters to me. It's a passion of mine, and maybe one day, pie in the sky, maybe one day it would become a job. But I know that of my friend group, I'm the one who has those skills. I'm the one who has that training. And if I have to be the one who not only produces the thing, but also schedules or determines what topics we're talking about, if it's a structured podcast and not just two dudes in a room talking. If there's anything other than simply the production aspect of it, and on top of that, struggling with the schedule, struggling with people being consistent, struggling with explaining, if there's any struggles on top of purely the production aspect of things, then it's a completely unbalanced workload. Uneven yoke, all that kind of stuff. For those of you who read holy texts, you know what I mean. If you and whoever your partner is, whether it's in a relationship or a business, or in a business setting or a personal setting, whatever it happens to be, if the two of you are unevenly yoked, it's just not going to work out. It's simply not going to work out. And if I make a podcast, then I want to be consistent with it. I've been extremely fortunate to be as consistent as I have been with the streaming stuff, because I know for myself. As much as I love the streaming aspect, as much as I love producing content, as much as I've enjoyed playing these games for people, I know how draining it can be to be like, okay, I'm going to get on and do the exact same thing that I did last time. I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to find a way to make it interesting. Whatever it happens to be, There is a certain level of, mental fatigue to anything repetitive, really. This is why a lot of people have this is why a lot of people change jobs. This is why, you know, we've got very, very low retention for a lot of careers right now. Repetitive work is simple work, but it's extremely boring and can produce a lot of mental fatigue. So I understand that. But if I were to do a podcast with you know, with a friend, with a couple friends, with whoever, they would need to be as committed as I am to this. They would have to be. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be naturally more inclined to the project than they are, because I want to do this. One of my goals, for as long as I've known what I want to do for work, one of my goals has been content creation. And of course, that idea has expanded. What specifically do I mean? How is that going to look? What do I have to do to accomplish those things? All of that. But pretty much since about 6th grade, I've known I want to do something involving content creation. And that kind of passion is not easy to translate to someone who's like, hey, would it be cool if we did like a podcast or something? Who's just getting into it. It wouldn't be fair for me to expect them to be as committed to it, but they need to be committed. They need to treat it seriously, whoever it would end up being. And I don't know if any of this information is helping you guys. I really hope it is. I really hope this information's helping you guys, because honestly, I think it's the kind of thing that anyone should consider before they produce content that requires more than one person. Everybody should consider, okay, how involved can everybody be in this? And if they can't be, then, you know, you kind of just have to make a different piece of content at that point. At least it would be most efficient, and it would be the most logical thing to do, to just make a different piece of content at that point. Because at least you're making content then, you know? Like I'm doing a lot of background research for several projects right now that I would love to produce for the video essay and documentary channel, my main channel, Christian Nisus on YouTube. If you're watching live, it's the same name here. But if you are watching on the VOD, it's linked in the description if you want to check out any of my previous work. It's been about a year, other than the eulogy video I did for Kevin Conroy, it's been about a year since I've made, you know, channel relevant content over there. And I've really reformatted what I want to do with it. I want to make like documentary style content. I want it to, you know, have some production value to it, all kinds of stuff. But that requires a complete reshuffle of my production schedule for things, and it requires a lot of front-end work. And I can't expect that, you know, my friends or you know, whoever, you know, a business partner, whoever, I can't expect that they're going to be as invested in this or have the same kind of schedule for these things as I would, because I mean, it wouldn't be fair for me to it would not at all be fair for me to expect that they have the same level of care for this as I do, because it's my baby, it's not theirs, that kind of thing. But on top of that, it's my passion. It's my passion. I'm going to be more invested in it than whoever joins me for whatever the project happens to be. Okay, heavy duty steely, that's what we're looking for. There we go. How do those look? I mean, other than the red, yeah, they look fine. Look fine. I don't like the red, but I can't really change it without them getting upset. But the red's nice. Like, if the red was on a different, if the red was matched with a different color than olive green, I would probably like it more. All right, let's hang out here for a second. I'm gonna put the main vehicle away. There we go. There we go. But, you know, these are the kinds of things anyone making content should consider. if this is something you really care about doing, if this is something you really want to do in the long term, you need to treat it like it's a business. Treat it like it's a business. Find your specific niche, because there's an audience out there for anything. There's tens of millions of hours of video uploaded to YouTube every single day. I guarantee you there's a large enough audience interested in your specific niche that you can be successful. And that's the kind of thing I'm looking for right now, you know? I know it's out there. I'm trying to appeal to that specific niche, and that's taking time. But you need to treat it like a business. You need to treat it seriously. You can't really slack off with this kind of thing. You need to be very vigilant, and you need to have the work ethic for it. You just do. I mean, having a work ethic is going to be a benefit to you regardless of the kind of job that you're in. But certainly for a job. Oh, I'm very glad that did not pull anything out of our bonus. Having a work ethic, especially for the kind of job where everything is on you, everything is on you for its success. It's the only way you're going to be successful is if you do have a work ethic for it, is if you actually care about it. See, that guy seems a little bit more like the muscle car type, but still, I would have expected something, a little bit more understated, a little bit more subtle. Maybe a little flashier, just not in, maybe flashy, just not in the muscle car kind of flashy. Maybe about, I don't know. Got some weird NPCs choosing these cars. Very weird NPCs choosing these cars. All right, the Voodoo has been salvaged. Nice. Good to know. Lots of extra money. In the pull for today. We've maxed out the storage at our bunker, which is awesome. And let's see. Yeah, our nightclub's doing great. Our bunker's full. We finished Cluckn Bell. All of our other less than legal businesses are doing great. Our salvage yard's doing we're doing good. We're doing real good. I mean, now we have time to just sort of relax in the game. Not that the game wasn't, not that this whole thing isn't a form of relaxation for me, but you know what I mean. Now we've got some time to just chill. Just drive, Just drive, have some fun. Let's go pick up a car from the office tower. I think I'll take out the Tempesta. I was talking about the Tempesta earlier. Let's take the Tempesta and we'll swing over to Ponsonby's and see what kind of clothes we got. Maybe something was made available for the update. I would imagine probably not, but maybe some new good-looking stuff was made available for the new heist. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, we'll do that. Those of you who grew up around the same time I did will probably recognize this as a Bruce Wayne outfit. From one of the shows. If you can figure out which one, without looking it up, because again, I'm in your vents. I know I'm looking at you. I can watch. I'm looking to see if you're cheating right now. If you can tell me which of the shows, then I don't know. I'll if you can comment which of the shows, I'll like your comment. There we go. That's about all I can promise, I guess. That's about all I can promise, other than I am in your vents. If you look this up and cheat, I will know, and I will crawl out of the vent, and I'll ask you why. All right, there's the Tempesta. We love the Tempesta. That's a nice engine. Nice engine sound. I do enjoy. All right, that's where we were headed. That's right. All right. Hey, that's just down the street. I don't need to set up a marker for that. That's right down here. Oh, now that's some fun acceleration.
Watch it! That's great. Whatever.
Nice.
Right.
Thanks, man. But don't ever call it groovy again or I'm going to shoot you.
Let me know if you need help.
Salvage yard. Ah, yes. Well, I've got all these. I can now LARP as a member of the Coast Guard.
Take your time.
Alright, yes, I remember. I picked up all those. Those were fun. Alright, let's look at individual items. Where did I get these from? Why are these in my inventory? Why are these in my inventory?
That'll look great on you.
Ugh, these look horrendous. Although, we could put together a Smash Mouth LARP. That would be funny. That would be funny. Ugh. I mean, granted, very California. I'll give them that. Very California. But I hate... Oh, man, I hate the look of all of those. Those look just bad. Okay. At least these, like, these make sense for the zone, you know? Arena War stuff. I thought I had these. Alright, well, we'll pick them up.
We have that in multiple colors.
Apologies. I'm as big a fan of cargo shorts as the next guy. I do enjoy my, even though I don't wear shorts, I do enjoy pockets. But why chains, man? What's with the chains? I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me. Makes no sense. I guess it's a style thing. It's a crappy style, but I guess it's a style thing.
Take as long as you like.
Wow, okay, nothing new really. We got those. See, I really want those. I really want those. I really want those for the
You should
I mean those are
try it on.
good, but I want the black ones for my my really crappy Batman builds in this game. I really want it. I really want it. I like the pads. The pads look cool. He is wearing hockey pads. They look pretty good. All right. Well, probably nothing particularly new, or at least nothing great that's new. There we go, geez. Anything new in utility vests? Nothing I want. Nothing I want. That's for sure.
You won't find those anywhere else.
I've already got the cool... I've already picked up the cool ones that would fit my aesthetic. Hmm. Let's see. There's not a more vibrant. Yeah. Yeah, that's not the same. That's not the same blue.
Did you find your size?
Doesn't come across the same as that one. The top button undone is the look I'm going for with that. I guess there's nothing really great here. I don't know. I was hoping for something. I was hoping for really anything interesting. But there we are. Let's make sure I'm wearing the right outfit. There we go. Wonderful. No actual change. No. Oh, actually, no. There was. The shoes are different. That's right. The shoes are different. These ones basically have no traction. All right, let's do a bit more driving. I really do enjoy just driving and talking. Let's see, what else is there to say, I guess? What else is there to talk about? Ooh, for those of you who haven't seen it, I highly suggest watching the show The Chosen. It's been out for a bit now. There's 3 seasons. The quick descriptor of the show is the life of Christ through the eyes and through the lens, more or less, of the apostles. Now, it's an interesting twist because we don't know as much. We don't have as much concrete detail about the apostles as we do about Christ. And so a lot of it is fictionalized, but the producers, really everybody on the show has been extremely specific in making sure that they do not improperly portray any of the important elements of the story. Like they will switch around the timeline of certain events in Jesus' ministry because they are weaving a narrative, but they are not in any way trying to diminish or recontextualize Jesus' ministry, which is important. I mean, it's produced by a very devout group of Christians of varying expressions of the faith. But yeah, they're very specific about this. It's actually the first thing you see. The first thing you see at the beginning of the first episode is, hey, our goal is not to negatively portray Christ. Is not to, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that it's an extremely respectful, fictionalized account of the Gospels. It's really good, really well acted, very well. You've got amazing portrayals of each of the principal cast members, and there's, no less than 13 principal cast members. There's certainly more than 13, but there's no less than 13 principal cast members, who you don't meet all of them in the first season. It's really good. Very, very, very good. And there's currently 3 seasons out. They're in the middle of releasing season 4. I believe they're also producing some of season 4 right now. I did not have the opportunity to see season 4 in theaters. The plan was to go ahead and do so, and then some family stuff came up that was more important. But it's a great show. Great show. They've got a total of 7 seasons that they want to tell this story in, which is a little predictable. Kind of an important biblical number, 7. Kind of an important biblical number. But I've been introducing this show to a friend of mine, and it's understandably so, completely understandably so, having spoken to them and with their own experiences with Christianity. It's they are currently holding on to the concern of, is this going to become a low effort teaching tool? Is this eventually going to become a low effort, I'm going to beat you over the head with, with all kinds of biblical stuff? And obviously I'm trying to reassure them that's not the case at all. In fact, many of the things are extremely understated. And when it does focus in on a particularly important biblical scene, they pay it respect, but they don't treat the audience like the audience is dumb. I'm trying to reassure them about that. However, their own personal history with Christianity, specifically Catholicism, although this isn't to say anything negative about Catholicism, but their own personal experience is certainly they're a little concerned, a little afraid, so to speak. Well, okay, I'm not going to go as far to say afraid. They're a little on edge when it comes to the portrayal of this stuff, because they don't want to be preached to with this kind of stuff, and I understand that. I completely understand that. I'm trying to reassure them that that's not the case. I'm trying to reassure them that is not the case with this show. In fact, that was my concern. That was my family's concern. That was the entire audience's concern when The Chosen was first released. Everyone was concerned that is this gonna just basically make us look even worse than the mainstream media already portrays us? Is this actually going to be really, really bad for our image? Is it actually going to be extremely bad for our image that this show comes out because it's going to seem to, hello fellow kids or whatever? And then you watch the show and it's just great. It's just a really good show. It's just a really good show. There are a lot of people out there who would otherwise, if it was about any other topic, they would say this is a very well-written, well-produced show that is telling a compelling story. But because it is about Christianity, it has a lot of more important names in the reviewing space. It has a lot of them concerned to check it out, and it shouldn't, because it's not trying to beat you over the head with anything. It takes a stance, absolutely. It takes a hard stance on who Christ is, because of course it does. It's produced by a bunch of Christians. Of course it's going to take a hard stance on that. But it's not treating the audience like the audience is 2 years old, all right? Give it a shot. It's a really good show. Even if you just look at it from the perspective of a fictional story, it is a very well-written fictional story. It's very, very well written. Something that I think would be rather important for a lot of audiences, although in the grand scheme of things, it would not be the deciding factor in the quality of the product. It is important to point out that the first century Judean community, the first century Judean individual that was Jesus Christ, actually looks and is surrounded by people that look, act, and speak as if they did exist in first century Judea. Now it's in English, of course, it's all in English, but they put the production team behind the show put a lot of effort into making sure that this was as accurate of a portrayal of Christ and his disciples in first century Roman occupied Judea as humanly possible. And it's really nice to see that level of detail put into things. Most Christian productions definitely come at it from a post-Roman perspective, and it's really nice to see. It's really nice to see the first century portrayed as close to accurately as possible. It's really, really nice. My one thing is make the Romans look Italian. Please, just that's my one thing, and it's only because I am Italian. Italian and Greek and a bit German, but it's like my one thing. Make the Romans look less British. They speak with American accents because it's American. It's an American show, but make them look Italian, please. For the love of God, make them look Italian. Cast Italian Americans. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of us here. We're one of the largest ethnic groups in the country. One of the largest ethnic subcategories of white people in the country is Italian Americans. There's plenty of us here. Cast Italian Americans. We're just cast people with various Italian ethnicities to be the Romans, not just essentially people who look like they're from England. They're a little too pasty to be in, I don't know, the Negev desert in Judea. little too bright for little too bright for that kind of thing. Little too bright, but I will say it does a good job of showing the Roman Judean dynamic. They don't use it as a scapegoat for saying, oh, clearly, X, Y, or Z ethnicity bad. No, they're as accurate as they can be to. Sorry, a little bit of hiccups because I've been talking a lot. They're as accurate as they possibly can be with what we know and with what the scope of the show is. They're as accurate as they can be in the portrayal of the actions of the Romans, even if I would prefer the Romans look more Italian, less British. Well, less German, because this is 1st century. This would be Rome in the 1st century. This was it was pre-mass adoption of a barbarian military. So, I don't know. Should be a bit more Roman. Maybe that's just because I want to see some Romans that look like me, Maybe I want some Romans that look Italian. For once. For once, I'd like some Romans that look Italian in a Western piece of media. Although, which project? It was the Netflix show where they were speaking Latin. I'm forgetting what it was called. Was it called Barbarian? No, it wasn't. I don't think it was called Barbarians. I'm forgetting exactly what it was called, but that was a really nice nice. It was a really well adapted interpretation of the Romans. It's nice that they were speaking Latin. I don't think that it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't tell you if their Latin pronunciation is particularly on point. But it was a pretty good portrayal of the Romans overall. I don't mean that the Romans were the heroes. The Romans should not be seen as purely heroic. They should not be seen as purely one or the other. They were an empire like any other empire. So it's going to be a mixed bag, the Romans, but you should be accurate to that. And the show was the whatever that one Netflix show was called was really good about that. And so far, other than the individuals portraying the Romans, who clearly their acting talent was considered before their physical attributes. So I'm glad about that. But it would be nice. It would be very nice if Quintus looked Italian. If Pilate looked Italian. It'd be nice to see that kind of stuff. But I understand that their acting ability was certainly considered ahead of their specific appearance. There were clearly guidelines like, make the Romans look European, not Middle Eastern. That's not hard to do. That's not hard to do at all. But, Rome is not northern Italy. Make Rome look like Rome. Make the Romans look Roman. But, man, I did not know I had gone on so long about The Chosen as a show. What I'm trying to say is, watch The Chosen. It's very good. It's very good, and I'm willing to bet that it's got some emotional beats that will certainly tug at your heartstrings, whether or not you're a religious person. It's very well made. The story is particularly consistent. There are some minor inconsistencies between the first and second season because there was no guarantee that they were ever going to be able to make a second season. So they make some character choices differently from the second season onward than they do in the first season. But other than that, very good stuff. No, I'll just go back around and then we'll grab the nightclub money before we're done before we log off for the night. Check out the show. It's very good. It will certainly give you a different point of view as to who the apostles were. It will certainly make them seem more like actual people than just characters in a play, or just, some saintly figure who you should revere. It treats everybody like they were human. It certainly focuses on the humanity of Christ. Absolutely. It in no way denigrates the divinity of Christ, but it emphasizes the humanity of Christ in all of it. For my Catholic and Orthodox friends out there who would be concerned about the representation of the humanity and the divinity of Christ, they do a very good job. They do a very good job with this. Give it a shot. Your time is not wasted. But on the flip side of the coin, there's a really, really bad piece of media out there right now about Moses. There's a horrendously poorly made documentary from Netflix right now called Testament: The Story of Moses. I was really hoping it was going to be good. I got 15 minutes in, and I had been screaming at my monitor more than I have at most shows or movies. I am not this upset about how wrong they get certain details. It's really bad. It's well produced. Yes, it's well produced. It clearly has production value to it. The costumes are fine. The sets are fine. The camera work is fine. The audio is fine. The research, though, is just... The experts they bring on are particularly progressive in their theological standing. By which I mean, so you've got progressive theology and you've got conservative theology. Conservative theology... So the more conservative your theology is, the more hardline you are on the specific text that you're speaking from, or the specific tradition that you come from. And the more progressive you are, the more you're willing to, similar to how in politics, but not. I'm not saying that progressive theologians are, are socially progressive in the real world. I'm simply making a comparison here. Progressive theology is certainly picks and chooses which sections to be more hardline on and which sections to allow more interpretation for. For instance, if you were to consider fundamentalists on the progressive or conservative scale of theology, they would be considered more conservative in their theology, even if a fundamentalist tends to misunderstand the term fundamentalist as being the fundamental aspects of the holy text or of the religious tradition, and we often misuse it to mean people who are political fundamentalists who use religion as a political tool, which is a completely different thing, and I would love to get into that conversation at another time. But staying on topic with Testament, the story of Moses. Basically, everybody who was basically every one of the scholars and theological heads brought into the discussion for this documentary, they all lie somewhere on the progressive side of the larger theological discussion. For instance, one of them very incorrectly states that nowhere in the first 5 books of the Bible does it talk about God as in the Judeo-Christian God the Father as being the only God, just as the God that the Jews are supposed to worship, and therefore, of course, the Christians, which is simply incorrect. It's simply incorrect to state that, and I don't know what his point, what he was trying to make was. I really don't know what his point was that he was trying to make, other than the Jews are supposed to worship this God, not the other gods, and this God is going to show you why they're supposed to. I would argue, other than the fact that literally Genesis begins with, in the beginning, God, as in Elohim, as in God the Father of the Holy Trinity for us Christians, as in the one God created the heavens and the earth. what? Whatever. Beyond that, I believe his logic comes down to God does not directly say to his people or to Moses, "I am the only God that exists," which I would argue is incorrect. If you look at the way that the plagues play out in the story of Exodus, you'll see that the plagues are directly targeting. That most of the plagues, I don't know about all of them, most of the plagues directly target various Egyptian deities. As being like, oh yeah, well the Nile, your Nile god, your Nile god Sobek is so powerful. Well, watch me turn this water into blood. Can Sobek do anything about that? You know, all that kind of stuff. Like through the different plagues, God not only punishes the Egyptians for having enslaved his people, but also directly to the Egyptians is saying, look at how powerless your gods are. You worship false gods, and this is and they cannot do anything to me. Like just the context of the plagues is supposed to be saying there is only one God, and he is the God of the Israelites, and now you get to watch this God's wrath poured out upon your people, all that kind of stuff. But this theological professor, this theologian, he errs heavily on the side of, well, technically, which isn't true. Well, technically, the first 5 books of the Bible, the Pentateuch or the Torah or whatever you want to call it, depending on your tradition, the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, don't actually say that there's only one God, which is just incorrect. It's just objectively incorrect, and I feel like part of me hopes that was simply taken out of context, but with the way that this theologian and every other theologian in this project speaks, I would argue it's probably not taken out of context. And there's not another theologian who tries to disagree at any point in the documentary with this one theologian's perspective. Now, to be fair, and I want to be fair, before the documentary starts, if you click on the first episode of this documentary in Netflix, I believe it's a 3-episode documentary. If you click on the first episode of this documentary, it does say at the start of it, "Hey, we've brought in several theologians from different traditions. We are not trying to say that the general theological consensus is what we are portraying. We are simply trying to provide a documentary about the man that was Noah and his actions and deeds and his beliefs." But then they will just, they'll just leave ideas out there without explaining them, like the complete misinterpretation of the Pentateuch or the Torah. That is to say that God does not, in fact, say that there are no other gods, which is incorrect. It's simply incorrect. The very commonly accepted for pretty much all of Jewish and Christian history interpretation of how other deities work in other cultures is that while they are not God, they are not gods, they do not have the powers of a god, they do have some amount of power. They are powerful spirits. They are, from the Christian perspective, from the Jewish and Christian perspective, they are fallen angels who were given control of these different cultures because the Israelites are descendant from Noah and Abraham and all this kind of stuff. Adam, Noah, Abraham, and so on and so forth. They were given control of these other people groups and these other cultures to steer them, and they steered them incorrectly. So yes, they are spiritual beings who have some amount of power, but they are not gods. They are not God, and they cannot supplant God. All that kind of stuff. If at any point it sounds a little confusing when I'm saying this, please watch a video on it. Please do. I'm not trying to be confusing. It is a rather simple concept within the Jewish and Christian faiths about these things. And for a theologian, I believe he was a Christian theologian, for a theologian to come out and say, well, the Bible doesn't actually say that there aren't other gods, it just says we're only supposed to worship this God, is simply factually untrue from the perspective of the Bible. It's just factually untrue. Whether or not you believe in gods, you, the viewer, believe in gods, that has no bearing on what the Scripture says about the nature of God and other spiritual beings. There's no bearing on that. And this guy was just incorrect. And it was the final straw for me. You know, it was the final straw. I'm like, I'm not continuing with this. I can't. I can't. If they're going to keep being like this, if they're going to keep making some social message about this kind of stuff, and then they're going to jump into, well, actually, the Bible says a thing that it doesn't say, but we're going to say it says this thing, and we're going to leave it there without any explanation, or without any, debate or rebuttal or evidence for or against this statement. I'm just like, okay, you're like, this isn't a good production. This is not done in good faith, as it were. Pardon the pun. That was not intended. This project is not made in good faith. This project certainly wants to portray the idea that that early Jewish culture was polytheistic, which is simply not correct. It's simply not correct. I'm sure it offends my. I'm sure it would offend my friends in the Jewish community, the same way that it offends me and all of my brothers and sisters in Christ. It's just, how can you get such a fundamental detail about Christianity and Judaism? How can you get such a fundamental detail wrong and just leave it in there? How does that happen in the first episode of your 3-part documentary? How do you get such a fundamental concept wrong? Come on. Like, this guy's supposed to be a theologian. How does he mess this up that bad? How does he do it, ladies and gentlemen? How does he do it? How does he do it? This is a weird... I'm realizing this now. This is a very weird juxtaposition. Me playing GTA while talking about the Bible. A little bit of a weird juxtaposition. Little odd. One could assume. Little odd, but it's how it goes. It's how it goes. That is absolutely how it goes. If anyone has made it this far in the VOD on the second channel, go ahead and let me know. Thank you very much for watching these. I've been happy with the performance of my VODs as of late. Not everything is performing as well as everything else, of course. Of course, that's just how it is. Multi-part series are often very difficult for people to go ahead and jump into, or to want to continue with if the multi-part series isn't completed, of course. But I'm very happy with its performance, especially for such a small channel, for such a young channel. It's nice. It's nice. Thank you all for watching. And if you did make it this far in the VOD, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. And of course, go check out The Chosen. The first season is on Netflix if you want to watch it there, but all 3 fully released seasons are currently available on their own website, thechosen.com, I believe it is. Or you can watch it on the Angel Studios website, any of those places. It's all free. You don't have to donate, you don't have to pay, nothing. Nothing. It's all free. Go check it out. You're wasting absolutely nothing. The most you will lose is 40 minutes of your time if you don't like the first episode. That's all you'll lose. There's no loss here. Go check it out. Go check it out. I would love to do all 3 seasons of all 3 completed seasons. They're in the middle of season 4 right now. They're in production and releasing some of the episodes. All 3 seasons are also available on Amazon Prime. Although I don't know if you have to. I don't know if you need a Prime account or if you need to pay for them or whatever it happens to be. But they're available on Prime as well. So go check them out. Go check it out. It's a great show. It's a great show. And they had a companion show. That they produced at the same time as season 3, called something along the lines of Gen Z Watches The Chosen or whatever. It's really good. It's really good. It's really interesting to watch people react to the. Obviously, I could get reactions to the show from anywhere on the internet, from YouTube or whatever. But it's very interesting to see how these individuals from various backgrounds, very close to my age, have all reacted to the show. And the show has been positive in each of their lives. None of them came away being like, "Oh man, this show is terrible. It's it's X, Y, it's istophobic. It's X, Y, or Z bad thing that I want to say." No, they all came away with a great experience from it, which is nice. Very nice to see. Very nice to see. It's a higher budget and more authentically produced version of Kids React, all that kind of stuff. Those really weird React videos that I never understood why they got popular. It's a much more well produced version of that that's actually authentic. It's authentic and it's not hyper politicized or whatever. Nothing stupid. Nothing stupid at all. Yeah, go check it out. Go check out the show. Go check out the reaction to the show. It's worth it. It really is. It really is. Again, even if you just think of all these things as fictional things, absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. You will not have wasted your time. But with all that being said, we have officially gone overtime. We've officially gone overtime, and it'd be funny if I made a highlight of a highlight titled something like "Christian plays GTA and talks the Bible" or whatever. I don't know. I don't even remember when I started talking about this stuff in the stream today. I'm sure I could go find it, but I'd rather leave it as a nice little nugget for everyone to go and experience. I'm gonna go pick up the nightclub earnings, and then we'll be done for the day. And tomorrow, Tuesday the 9th, we will be back to Pokemon. We'll be right on back to Pokemon now that I've finished the DLC, the recently released DLC here for GTA. We'll be right on back to Pokemon, which will be nice. It'll be real nice. I did a little bit of grinding. To get all of the rest of my party up to level 40. I know Charizard's at 50 right now, but I got the rest of my party to 40. Yeah, I didn't do any story stuff offline. Of course, that would be irresponsible of me. Very irresponsible of me. But yeah, lots of XP grinding. Got a few new Pokemon. Thank you to the Super Rod for making a few available. Ooh, what do we have over here? Is this another car for me to pick up? Maybe. Is it another car? Maybe. Please? Please? Pretty please? Please? Is it another car? Yeah. No, it's cocaine. Or it's drugs of some sort. All right, let's take these. Let's go for it. All right, let's take care. Then we'll I'll get my oppressor Mark II, and we'll head on over to the nightclub and get that stuff taken care of. We got a few more minutes. We got a few more minutes together, ladies and gentlemen. If not for that blue dot, we would be done by now. We got a few more minutes together, which I'm certainly fortunate for. That's for sure. Certainly, I certainly consider myself fortunate for. But it is getting a bit late. I should definitely eat some dinner. I Let's see, it's been... No, I did have lunch today. That's good. That's good. Some days work is just a little too busy and I don't get time to eat lunch. And I almost never have breakfast, so like some days I'm really upset by the time it comes to dinner. I'm really just completely drained. But we're good. We're all good. And you know, my throat is certainly not doing too well. Certainly not doing too well, especially now that I've been talking non-stop about Bible stuff, which is really important to me, but still, non-stop. So I'm going to need to certainly rest that. I might need to drink something warm tonight, maybe some tea or something, I don't know. It's not really my thing, you know? Warm tea is not really... I'm certainly an iced tea guy. And I don't mean the rapper. Of the different teas and slightly caffeinated drinks, I'm definitely an iced tea guy.
I'll bring it to you.
I mean, you guys have seen it. If you guys have been around the channel long enough, you've seen it. I love my Arizona teas. Love my Arizona teas. Very upset that they are changing their pricing. If there's one product that should not change its pricing, it's Arizona iced tea. It's Arizona, well, any of the Arizona teas, but certainly the Arizona green tea in their original iced tea. Should not be changing their pricing. You're ruining yourselves. Although I guess that's the real indicator of America being in a massive depression, right? That's the real indicator. Certainly a real indicator for me. One of the real indicators for me. Hello. Hey guy. Hello, friend. I'm gonna steal your money real quick. A very Christian thing to do. Very Christian of me. All right. Let's get moving. Let's get on over to that nightclub. Get our money, and then we'll be done for the day. We'll be done for the day. This VOD is going to take me a while to render. So the Pokemon VODs take me less time to render on average than any of my other VODs. Well, Pokemon and Cormon. Probably because the footage is 16-bit sprite animation footage. It's not, you know, fully 3D rendered HD graphics and all that kind of stuff. There's a very good reason it takes me less time. But you know, it's what it is. Ooh, I should have gone to the Terabyte Garage, shouldn't I? Ooh, should have gone to the Terabyte Garage. That's what I'll do. I'll go to the Terabyte Garage. Come on. Let's go. Come on. All right. There we go. Gotta be specific about these things, you know? It's supposed to be stored in your terabyte. If anywhere, it's supposed to be stored there. I should be careful about it. All right, we'll head up this way. Ah, I meant nightclub. Didn't mean exit. Whatever. It's not like I don't have the time for it. Come on. But this is gonna take a while. It'll be good. I'll get to eat. I'll get to decompress. But it's gonna be probably the rest of my night getting this stuff edited. Well, edited. Remove the first 2 minutes of the stream to get rid of the starting soon. Edited and rendered and uploaded. It'd probably take me the rest of the night. Ugh. The one downside to streaming, everybody, is you always want to hold on to VODs, and it's good to hold on to VODs. But man, if it's not, a massive time waster. All right, thank you all so much for watching. This has been a ton of fun for me. I wasn't expecting to speak for close to an hour straight, I think. I don't know how much time. Between 45 minutes and an hour straight about Bible stuff today. I'm very happy to do so. Even if it was juxtaposed with playing GTA. Even if it was juxtaposed there, it was fun for me. It was very fun for me. For those of you watching live, thank you very much. It's always appreciate you live viewers. For those of you watching the VOD, I appreciate you guys just as much, if not maybe a little bit more. I don't know, maybe a little bit more. No, but you guys are awesome. It's always nice to see you guys watching this stuff. I'm always surprised that someone wants to sit and watch me play something for 3 hours or listen to me play something for 3 hours or whatever it happens to be. Always surprised to see that kind of stuff. And it means the world to me that you guys would want to go ahead and watch. You know, if you guys have enjoyed this, if you guys on the VOD channel have enjoyed the stream, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Obviously, like, comment, and subscribe to the VOD channel, CN Games, to my main channel, Christian Nisus, and eventually, when I make something for it, to my third channel, CN Speaks. For those of you on the VOD channel, you probably already know this. Everything is in the description of each and every single VOD, as well as a bunch of other ways you can choose to support me. Completely voluntary. I'm not going to beg you to go to a Patreon or whatever. It's completely up to you. But everything is available down there if you do have an inclination to do any of that. It means the world to me that you guys would even watch, let alone how impossible it seems to me that someone would want to support me like that. So thank you all. It's been a lot of fun. Tomorrow, as in Tuesday, at some time between 4 and 4:30 p.m. So be ready. We will be getting back to the Pokemon grind with Pokemon Fire Red. We're going to be getting back to that. We're going to be doing some more trainer battles, I think. I don't know. I think I'm on Route 14. I think that's the name of the route. I'm on Route 14 right now. I've got a lot of things to go ahead and handle there. But yeah, we're going to be getting back to that tomorrow. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. I know I certainly have. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the Pokemon stuff, because I think I might end up playing all of the 2D Pokemons in order. I don't know. I don't know. At least chronological. I'm Fire Red is the first one I'm going for because it's got nicer color depth than the original version or the Game Boy Color re-release. It's just got better color depth. So yeah. Point is, I think I might play them all in chronological order. At least all of the 2D ones in chronological order. So, you know, if you're interested in that, let me know. Let me know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow, approximately the same bat time, but definitely the same bat channel. All right. Have a good one.